fire lighting up the sky. Feel the ground shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain, game of survival. Any time or place, watch them run away. I got none. I'll be spending on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival, watch them run away. I got no, I got no rival.
Hello everybody and welcome to Turf Moor House TV. It's been a while since we've done a video, hasn't it? So it's nice to be back. It feels strange. Obviously a lot happened towards the latter stages of last year. Burnley won promotion. However, personally, I lost my father, and it was nice just to have a little bit of a break to try and recharge the batteries. But we are going to try and get the ball rolling again. As I said, it has been nice. Burnley got promoted and obviously went up as champions. So they will be involved in this Premier League prediction. I know it's early. Some will say it's very, very early to be predicting where teams will finish. But hey-ho, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to give you our predictions. Hope everyone is well. Hope you, whether you're watching now live or whether you're watching later on, thank you very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. We are growing, and thank you very much for the love and support. Please do keep supporting us. It will be absolutely mint to see you guys in the chat throughout this season. And can't wait. That said, let's have a look at some of your comments. Renee's in early and says, "Hey Dan, welcome back to the Premier League." Obviously, commiserations to Leicester City, one of the sufferers of relegation this season. I'm sure you'll bounce back no matter what. Anyway, Renee. Chris says, "Long time no see, pal. Seeing that intro is getting me hyped for League One for us." Yeah, fantastic achievement, Chris. Amazing achievement. And we will be doing, obviously, the Championship, League One and League Two at a later stage as well. Carl's in the chat. He says, "Hi, pal. Hope you and the family are well. What a season. We have loved every second of it. Hopefully can buy some good players to keep us in the Prem, up the Clarets." Andrew's in as well. He says, "Bring on the Prem, up the Clarets." Chris is there just a bit early for the predictions, but it's your channel. Yes, that it is. That it is. Chris says, "Majority of the teams to predict are easy to predict." Well, yeah, true. And Vog OT says, "Great to see you back, Dan. You're so funny, pal." Appreciate it. Appreciate that, pal. Thank you very much. As I say, thank you for the love and support. Keep it going. We are going to try and grow this year and branch out where we can. You can check us out on social media as well. The socials are all linked in the description of this video if you are watching this through YouTube. But here is just a little video of where you can show your support and go on, like and follow us on other platforms. So yeah, do go check us out. Go and show your support. I really would appreciate it. So thank you very much so far. You can also like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when we next go live. You can also become a member now for $2.99 a month, which is it really does help the channel grow, help us provide videos, better content, and things like that. So if you want to become a member, I think the button is in the description over on YouTube, or there will be a button in the chat. And you can show your support there. However, we are going to do the predictions, and I tried to be fair. Obviously, this is my prediction, nobody else's. So anyone else who's predicting who finishes where, what, and however, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to be right. It's not the gospel truth. I know people slate me for putting the team wherever, but it is what it is. Rennie says, great to see Kompany back to the Premier League. Yeah, 100%. Pete saying, he says, hi, Dan, all going well. Should be at the turf for Christmas. Nice one, mate. Cyber leaders in. All right, Daniel. All right to yourself. Good luck tonight in obviously the Europa Conference League final. I think every English supporter is wanting West Ham to win that. Carl says, any transfer news on any new players coming in that are true? Well, we are going to do a transfer show very, very soon as well over the next coming days. So do join us and tune in for that, pal. Martin's in. Hope you are well. And Sarah Leader says, what do you think to Luton in the Prem? Well, I will give you my thoughts. This is the prediction show. As I said, we will get into those predictions and see what happens. Get your predictions in. Let us know how you think is going to finish in the positions. We are starting from bottom of the league, working our way up. So just to categorise, that's how we are starting. Rennie says, I hope Burnley stays top 10. Hey, mate, snap your hand off for that right now. Mella says, afternoon, Dan. Hopefully Burnley get top half. I hope so too. Right, starting off then in 20th. I feel bad. I do feel bad for this, but Luton Town. I just believe that even though they've come up via the playoffs, they did ridiculously well to beat Coventry on penalties. They got through. They are promoted, but there is so much to do off the pitch as well. The stadium needs a massive facelift. Does that mean that money could have been spent on players, etc.? You know, that has to go to the infrastructure of the club. It's going to be tough, but we have seen teams do it. And the thing is, we saw Blackpool be very close to staying up in the Premier League, apart from obviously losing so late at Manchester United on the final day. But for me, I think the Premier League has changed quite a bit. So, yeah, I've gone Luton in 20th. And, you know, through no mean feat, I think they will do a decent job. They'll surprise a few. They'll get a few results, surprise a few teams. But it won't be enough for them. However, it will be a valuable experience. Next up, then, last season's 15th place Bournemouth. I have gone for. Bournemouth had a late showing to the season last year, and actually got quite a few results that pulled them away from the relegation zone. There has to be 3 teams that drop in the Premier League, and unfortunately, I think Bournemouth is going to be another one of those culprits. It is going to be tough for Bournemouth. As I said, they've lost Jefferson Lerma, who they spent quite a lot of money on as well, and he's now left on a free. Junior Stanislas, who's been a talisman for Bournemouth, is also leaving the club. So, you know, I'm not saying these players make a humongous difference, but, you know, I think Bournemouth stay in the Premier League. You know, they had that success under Eddie Howe and staying in the division. Can Gary O'Neill do it? Who knows? However, I'm tipping them for the drop. And in the last relegation spot, this was a tough one to call. I have gone for Sheffield United. Now, this one, flirting between 17th and 18th, who I've put in 17th as well, could go either way, depending on how Sheffield United strengthen. They'll do really well to keep hold of Ilian Undar. He's a fantastic little player. Anel Ahmed Hadzovic at the back as well. A brilliant defender. And obviously Sander Berg in the midfield is stuck with the Blades as well. So should be, I mean, their squad, they do have a few decent players that have been there before, the likes of John Egan and Ollie Norwood and things like that. But obviously, it depends on how these clubs strengthen. And that, for me, is why I said it could be between Sheffield United and this team, Forest. Nottingham Forest, for me, 16th last year. dropping to 17th, just staying up. As I said, it could easily be between the two. But, Forest spent what? I think they brought in 20 odd players, didn't they? Something like 24, 25 players. They've released Jesse Lingard. I mean, clearly paying him 200k a week, if that's what was reported anyway, is said to be true. Then, for what? He didn't really tear it up there, did he? He's now available on a free. Forest are going to have to sell players. They've got that big, bulky squad, and you can only name 25 a season. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough between Forest and Sheffield United for that relegation drop. However, a team that did just survive in 17th, last season was Everton. And I think they'll still be in and around there unless Sean Dyche can really turn them around this campaign. It's going to be a big task. They've got a lot going on. The new stadium as of next season, I believe, or the season after. But they need a major rebuilding job there. Obviously, I think there's a few hierarchy members leaving as well in terms of Bill Kenwright, and I think someone else as well. I can't remember her name, but she's leaving the club. Everton have obviously never been relegated from the Premier League. And you know what? Sean Dyche in a full season there, he managed to keep them up this time. He's got to try and get them that belief to go again. Can he do it? He did it with Burnley. Who knows? But 16th, I think, is a good position for Everton. It's progression. It's one position higher than last. And we'll see how it goes for them. I am being real about my own club. I am being real. I've put us in 15th. I think 15th is a very good, respectable position. First time back in the Premier League. You've got to be real. I would snap your hand off for 17 and above. I know Vincent Kompany has come out and said that, I'm sorry, 17th in the table is, we're not seeing that as success and staying up. We want to be higher. He's telling potential acquisitions, potential players that are coming into the club, he's telling them that we want to achieve a European place. Maybe not this season, but long-term, fight to stay in a European spot. And having that belief and trying to entice those players in will be fantastic. But in a first season, 15th is not a bad position for us. And I would, as I said, we're going to lose some key players. We had quite a few good players in on loan last year, the likes of Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Ian Matson, Nathan Teller. Yes, we've shared up Jordan Bayer. He's signed on permanent now from Borussia Mönchengladbach. But it's all about the recruitment. And the names that have been linked are going to be fantastic. Marc Trezor, who's had a fantastic season in the Belgium leagues. Habib Diallo, I think he's called as well. Ike Ugbo, the former Chelsea forward. There's been too many names to mention about who Burnley have been linked with. Anybody who's got some ties to Belgium will have had a Burnley badge stuck next to them in a media outlet at some point. But I do think 15th, as I say, is a respectable position for a first season back in the Premier League for the Super Clarets. That then said, Julian Lopetegui, or whatever his name is, would have Wolves in 14th for me. They did finish 13th, last year. And, one position down, it's not that bad. Wolves had a scare. They had a bit of a shaky start to the season, but managed to pick it up towards the end. Obviously, Adama Traore returned from Barcelona. And, he's not hit the hearts that he had in a Wolverhampton Wanderers shirt. But 14th, I think, is not a bad position for Wolves at all. Next up, last season's 11th placed finishers, Crystal Palace, dropped to 13th for me. Palace are a decent club. They are having to get rid of quite a few old players. This could be one of those teams. Palace, for me, could now be one of those teams that could be down the bottom half of the table. Obviously, losing Wilfred Zaha, he's now leaving on a free, reportedly going to the Saudi Arabia. It's funny what Ronaldo makes a move there, and everybody over 35 is pretty much peeing off out there for a payday. We saw that recently with China, didn't we, not so long back? But yeah, it looks like Wilfred Zaha is off overseas. And could that dent Palace? Could that dent Palace, or could it grow them? We saw Villa eventually sell Jack Grealish and got mega money for him, and they've managed to make a great achievement last season as well. So can Palace emulate that? Either way, it's going to be tough to try and turn. James McArthur has left as well, who's been a solid midfielder. Let's see what Palace can do. 13th respectable finish for the Eagles. That play takes me to 12th. Last season's 10th place finishers. Fulham. 10th was a good position for Fulham. Like I say, straight off the bat from promotion. A 10th finish is decent. So 12th, not too bad. If they can keep Mitrovic in form, not lose him or sell him, then it should be good. Hopefully he's not just finally going to be the one season wonder. It took him a while to obviously get up and going in the Premier League, but last season he did. And if he can hit the ground running again, his goals will be pivotal to Fulham's stay in the Premier League. Next up, Brentford in 11th. They finished 9th last year, probably punched well above their weight. As I said, fans, player of the season, Ben Mee. Obviously, Burnley fans, you'll know Ben Mee was an absolute stalwart for us. How he's not been capped for England, I do not know, but he's a tremendous defender and probably helped contribute to how Brentford had their success last year, narrowly missing out on Euros, which, them and Brighton, it's just, it's something. It is something. But that said, remarkable achievement for the Bees. Next up, then in 10th, I have gone for West Ham United. Finished 14th last year, but 10th is going to be decent. Obviously, tonight, as we know, they are playing in the Europa Conference League final. And a win in that tournament will be fantastic for them. It boosts their confidence massively. It does look like they may lose Declan Rice, who is a key pivotal part of their squad. That man in midfield is massive. Is he going to Bayern Munich? Is he going to go to one of the bigger clubs in the Premier League? Who knows? But him potentially signing off with a trophy for West Ham will be massive. And good luck, as I said, to West Ham tonight. But I have them finishing in 10th. Next on the list, 8th, they finished last season. I've gone 9th this campaign. I think Spurs may struggle. Ange Postecoglou, the Celtic manager, has just been confirmed as the first team gaffer there at White Hart Lane. And I think he's going to struggle. Yes, he emphasises on, bringing youth through. But what's going to happen with the situation of Harry Kane? Pochettino now at Chelsea as well. Was he brought into Chelsea to try and pry Harry Kane away? There's going to be lots of potential suitors for Harry Kane. Is he going to stick it out? Is Ange going to be able to twist Harry Kane's arm and say, look, no, stay with us? There's a lot of questions over Spurs. Let's see what happens. But Spurs for 9th for me could be a tricky season. If they do get rid of Kane, though, we did see them a few seasons ago have a bit of success. As soon as Kane was out injured for a good few months, Heung-Min Son just shone, didn't he? Heung-Min shone, he did. And that's why I've gone Spurs in 9th. Next up then, Aston Villa, that clean-cut, brand-new crest that they will be adorning from next term. Finished 7th, achieved a remarkable achievement and getting European football. Unai Emery has done a fantastic job going in there. Was anyone really expecting Villa to punch that far above what they've done? Especially with the squad they've got. They've made, just little acquisitions here and there, and it's paid off for them. Ollie Watkins has been absolutely fantastic for them. It just, the keeper, not Fabianski, what's he called? Emi Martinez was brilliant. Obviously, won the World Cup with Argentina. It's been they've got themselves a fantastic squad of Aston Villa, and they're slowly building. So that's why Villa are going to drop to 8th for me. Last season's 6th place, Brighton, they drop this time. I've gone for Brighton to finish 7th. De Zerbi has done a deservingly good job there as well. To continue the work that Graham Potter did was nothing short of remarkable. Sometimes you see a manager that is Potter said, didn't he, with Brighton, he thought he overachieved with the club and why fans were booing him and things like that. But it just shows that Roberto De Zerbi has pushed them on to massive heights. And can they continue that? Let's see. Pascal Gross signed a brand new deal halfway through the season. So he will still be there. Alexis McAllister will be a big miss, though. It looks like he's set for a £35 million move to Liverpool. But how they spend it, let's see. Is James Milner going there? Is there, a good few players going to be used? The money going to be used for that? Let's just see. But Brighton and De Zerbi done a fantastic job. And one position less than what they had last year, I think they would also take. Snap your hand off for that. Last season, 4th place, Newcastle, I have put into 6th. Now, I've put into 6th because I don't want to be slated for this by Newcastle fans, but you've got to think of this strategically. Now, you've achieved Champions League. You're going to probably want to give that a good go. We've seen Fulham over the years, they've got to a European final. But it can derail your season. I'm not saying that it is going to, but 6th, a top 6 finish is still a good enough position, even if you do progress pretty well in the Champions League. Fantastic achievement by Eddie Howe and his staff there last year. The players, Callum Wilson was on fire. Bruno Guimaraes was brilliant. Joe Linton, since Eddie Howe's moved him from a striker to a midfielder, has been phenomenal as well. Nothing short of remarkable, the achievement that Newcastle have had. So, yeah, as I said, a European competition like the Champions League can derail your season a little bit if you take one eye off it. Let's just see what happens with Newcastle. But a top 6 finish is what I have gone for. In 5th, I have gone Chelsea. I think Chelsea need a major rebuild. But the likes of Neymar going in there, can he tear it up? We shall see. If he does, I know he's a rumoured named link, but Chelsea will want to go better than what they did last season. They don't want to finish in 12th like they did last campaign. That was a shoddy position for them. And I'm sure Ted Bowley will not want that as well. Let's see what Chelsea does. Top 5, I may have this one, again, you could swap Chelsea and Newcastle around, but I think Chelsea will want to kick on from that 12th position and think, let's put the world to rights. Let's get back to where we are, fighting amongst the giants in that top 10 at least. So I have put them in 5th. Last season's 5th place, Liverpool, I am tipping for 4th to get Champions League. Again, a bit of an iffy campaign for Jurgen Klopp's men. It was touch and go, wasn't it? A few dodgy results here and there for Liverpool. But can they achieve it? I don't see why they can't. A Champions League position would be brilliant for them, and again, gives them chance to steadily, work their way back up. Let's see what happens with Liverpool. Again, a lot of people were saying, where's the blame last season? Is it with Klopp? Is it with FSG? Let's see what happens this year. Let's see. Manchester United, they retain 3rd spot for me. Eric Ten Hag has got them playing pretty well. Obviously, losing the FA Cup final. There's certain moments in games where teams eventually will want to, come up, and they'll want to bounce back. From a loss such as the FA Cup final, especially against the the noisy neighbours, as they like to call them. So retaining third, again, good, solid position for Erik ten Hag's men. Let's just see what happens with that. The top two should be interesting. And you may slate me for this, but I have gone for City to finish second, just. City to finish second, last season's winners. But I think it all depends on what Pep does now. If Pep can tie up the Champions League with a win, then yes, okay. It's not that he's going to take his eye off that. But City's process right now is about getting that Champions League. It's what City want. And next year, maybe not so much. Maybe it's a case of, right, well, we'll just go out for the league. We've got a Champions League now. Who, what, where. But, yeah, City to just miss out. It could be a goal difference job or the odd point. But City to finish second. And that then leads us on to who I think will win it, which will be Arsenal, in my opinion. Last year, Arsenal have got a very, very young, experienced squad. But it goes to show that they had a lot of fight in them. Yes, a few results didn't go their way. They did bottle it. I'm sorry, but no matter what you say, whether you're an Arsenal fan or not, it was there to be bottled. I think, probably went around when the Queen passed. Arsenal started to dip in form and City picked up, and you can't let that happen. They will learn from their mistakes. They are still very, very young, and they will learn from them errors. So whether it's going to be this season or the season after, for me, I think Arsenal could be the Premier League champions come the end of the 2023-24 season. You let us know who you think is going to win it. I know you guys have been putting your comments in. I've been having a look at them throughout as well. Jan says here, Luton and Everton to go down. Mella says, I agree, City second and Arsenal top. Chris says Manchester City will win the league again for me, which will be the fourth title in a row. Domination cycle will continue. Rene says Arsenal goes second. The missus is in. Hope you are having fun out and about with the kids. Love to you. Jan says, don't tell me that, Rene. I hate them and we'll stop doing Premier League content anymore. Chris says, Arsenal, my biggest flops. They will finish seventh, in his opinion. I think they're going to have an underachieving transfer window. And yeah, that's all. That's what it's about, Chris. That is what it's about. It is all about opinion, mate. It is certainly all about opinion. But yeah, that is it. That is the predictions for the 2023-24 season. Carl says City for me. United second. Interesting outlook. Get your comments in if you're watching this back. Let us know how you think people are going to fare as well in the division. Who you think your three for the drop is. Who you think's qualifying for Champions League in the top four, and who wins the Premier League. But that is my early Premier League prediction. But it's there for you all to see. It will be there for you all. We will be back with more predictions with the Championship, League One, League Two. And yeah, we'll have some more content coming your way as well. We haven't done an end of season review yet, so we'll be doing an end of season review as well. Keep showing your support to the channel. Really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much indeed. But until the next one, take care. See you guys soon. And yeah, ciao for now.